making a video to tell you about the Permaculture Technology Jamboree 2024's Early Bird Special, which is going from now until February 15th. Jamboree is a huge permaculture event that takes place at Wheaton Labs. I've gone as an instructor for the last 2 years. I'm planning on going back this year to complete the project that I was working on last year, which is going to be an earthen floor. It's 2 weeks of just all kinds of different awesome projects going on. The attendees can kind of hop in between projects as they want and get their hands dirty. Meals are not included with your ticket technically, but Wheaton Labs does provide 3 meals a day during the week through the whole event. The food was really great the last couple of times that I went. Wheaton Labs is just a few miles outside of Missoula, Montana, and the event's going to take place for 2 weeks at the beginning of July. If you buy your ticket before February 15th, it's going to be $18.60. After the 15th, it's going to go up to $26.50, so that's an almost $800 savings. It really is worth it. And if you use my affiliate link, I also get a sweet kickback. Being proposed for the event this year, none of this is finalized yet, but roundwood timber framing, rocket mass heating, and extremely efficient smokeless wood fire technology. I've even seen someone propose generating electricity, so turning wood heat into electric generation. That would be really amazing. Solar system installation could be there. Putting an earth floor in the yurt on site, that's actually going to be my project. So we'd be engineering an earthen floor and installing it. Natural apothecary, so using natural ingredients many grown on the lab to create natural poultices and medicines and things like that. Dry stack stone construction. Last year they did a little moon gate with dry stack stone. Textile work, so weaving, knitting, making fabric, making things from that fabric. Working on a wofati. Wofati is Paul Wheaton's take on the Mike Ayler intensive passive solar design of building. It's similar to earthships, if you've heard of those. Beekeeping. We had a beekeeper in 2022 built a log hive, so it could be some more of that this year. I really like this one, making natural paints and plaster and dyes. Working with cob, so some more natural building. Using foraged fibers to create cordage. Quilting, that's a new one that would tie in well with the textile work. Gardening, there's always lots of gardening to be had at Wheaton Lab. Hugel gardens, too, they're usually building hugels as well. If you're interested in hugel culture gardening at all, ton of that going on at Wheaton Labs. And a spring pole lathe for woodworking. I don't know what that is, but it looks cool. Building a tree house, that would be fun. Mycelium insulation interlocking bricks. So this is something. In 2022, we had Bo Davidson made some mycelium insulation panels, and then they created a mycelium insulated door. So the next thing they want to try is making interlocking bricks, basically like giant big insulating Lego bricks with mycelium. That would be really cool. All kinds of stuff. And that thread just got going on Permies.com, so certainly going to be a lot of really cool stuff happening. So if you do buy a ticket, make sure to use my affiliate link and let me know when you do so I can thank you. If you're able to attend, I think you'd have a lot of fun. Wheaton Labs is a really, really special place, and this event is a really, really special thing. And don't just take my word for it. Here's what the 2022 Permaculture Technology Jamboree instructors had to say about what they really love about going to Wheaton Labs.
My favorite thing about Wheaton Labs is probably the people who end up sticking around.
The people.
Definitely the people.
The people that it attracts and the visionary projects.
It sounds so hokey, but it's like you fall in love with people within like days, you know.
My favorite thing about Wheaton Labs is the people it attracts, the curiosity of the people it attracts.
I love the community. I love getting to be around people that it's like we're all into different things, but at a certain level we all understand each other.
I get a chance to learn new techniques and new things just by eavesdropping and just listening to the discussion about how people who are half my age or even younger are going to fix the world. And it's kind of fun to listen to that.
The first thing that comes to my mind is my friend Ash Jackson, who says, Wheaton Labs is a permaculture playground where grown-ups get to come and have fun and play.
You have to have a place where innovation is possible, right? Where you're willing to try the crazy edge experiments because you learn so much from doing it. And I think that's sort of an important role, and I think that's how it fits into this larger picture of figuring out how to make the infrastructure of civilization actually regenerative.
There's a great collection of tools here that I can't afford, and I get to play with them. And there's a great collection of materials here and an expectation of experimentation.
There's just an intimacy here that I think everybody just feels when they get here. So that, and just the deep expertise of each individual that comes here, whether they're a student or whether they're an instructor, it's just like, wow, there's so much to learn from everybody.
I get to come out here and just dive into the things that people want to know that I've got a little bit of experience in, and almost all the people who show up have something to contribute to that improves my ability, improves the product, and improves my ability to build the product.
Out in the regular world, it's like you kind of have to explain every little thing that you're doing about permaculture, and here everybody's kind of on the same page, and so you can go farther with a conversation than you can with somebody who's never even heard about it. And it gives me an opportunity to talk about things that are exciting without having to completely explain everything and then explain why would you even want such a thing, and isn't it so much work to grow your own food. Hanging out with people who see the value in that is really special for me.
It's not only the people who stay here long term at Wheaton Labs, but also the people that come to the events, and getting to see people who have grown up in very different climates and their solutions to a very similar problem. So a lot of it's networking and connecting and having the shared meals. They bring everybody back together. So you go off and do your project for 2 or 3 or 4 hours, or wander between 3 or 4 different projects. And then we all come back together at the meal, and we can share what we've learned, we can share what we've done, we can talk about lots of fun permaculture things.
Everybody pitched in.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah, they've all been amazing resources coming from very different perspectives.
They all can build everything.
Yes.
We're like, we need to weld a thing. Everybody's 3 people step up and go out.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know, it's been really refreshing to see something that I do all day, every day. Like studio ceramics came at from such broad perspectives from people with fermentation backgrounds. And like we get to learn about forms and uses, and we get to use our technical knowledge to make these things happen. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just visionary. It's a great word. Yeah.
I think that's what it feels like. It feels like you get to get your hands dirty in mushroom substrate and cob and clay. You get to build things that are beautiful. You get to advance methods, techniques, and schools of thought that make the world a better place, that make the broken things heal a little more. And I think it makes a big difference.
So one of the things that Paul told me in the very beginning is he would like to create a place where someone who has whatever kind of illness can come to and experience a healing. We're surrounded by paints and plastics and, you know, who knows what coming off of the things that we buy or what we eat. And what would it be like if there was a place you could go to and there were no toxins? Like, it's gonna be more expensive, it's gonna be harder, it's gonna be inconvenient, and it's worth it. I think it's really, really worthwhile as an experiment. So I'm a healer, I've worked with a lot of people trying to help people get healthy. And that's a lot of times, that's the main thing, is to stop poisoning yourself. Find a way to get away from that stuff. Yeah, it's harder to grow your own food, but the product is so much better than anything you can buy. It's harder to build a natural building home. It takes more time, but what you end up with is something you can't buy. And our health it's worth so much more than money. You know, our health, our time, our moments of our life, I mean, that's what it's all about. So why not have an amazing experiment where you can find out what it's like to live in a place that's clean.